All right, so this is the 3 month update on my 40-gallon breeder planted tank. It's looking pretty good today. I just did a water change and I got the CO2 going. It hasn't been running for about a month and a half, and I had a pretty bad outbreak of algae, but I got some snails and some Amano shrimp and a couple cherry shrimp. I think I got 3 Amanos and 3 cherry about a month ago, and it took about a month, and I cut back on the feeding a little bit, and tank's looking pretty good today. Not much algae. This tree was covered in long hair algae a month ago, and it was really depressing. Every plant in here had algae on it. They're all looking pretty healthy today. I was going to add some more driftwood, so it's floating in the corner there by my drain. So that's what that is. And I noticed my cherry shrimp had babies. Oh, you can see one down there. I only got 3 cherry shrimp, so I couldn't believe I had babies, but I found them last night. Thank God. And there's a couple hanging by these rocks here, and I think there's one on that root. It's hard to see. Can't get any closer with this camera. But there's a bunch of babies in the rock here in the riverbed. I actually, when I was doing my water change, the siphon broke on the vacuum, and it flushed through here. And man, about 15 or 20 babies popped up looking around. But yeah, there's a baby coming out right there. You can see the entry of that cave right in the middle. There's one. And then there's some more hanging over here by the tree, and I had some down over here earlier. They move around a lot, and they hide and pop back out. And I had some up here. I had them. There's one cherry shrimp. I don't know if that's the mama or the papa, but she's been up here inside, up on top here. It actually, you can see it's flooded. That the top of the tree there is where this plant is growing out of. This is one of my wife's plants from outside. She broke a piece off, and I dropped it in there, and it took off. And those are the roots that are hanging all the way down. She doesn't like it. She asked me to cut it, but I kind of like it. It looks more natural, I think, and the shrimp love it. They're always in the roots there, so I'm going to leave it. And these swords, they don't look healthy to me. They look kind of yellowish, and I trimmed some out, some of the dying leaves this morning, but I don't know. They just don't look right. They don't look like true green like my Anubis here. Back here in the back, that's a piece of Anubis I cut off of here a while back, and I had it growing up here at the top, and today I put it in the tank. That's why, I don't know if you notice how small those leaves are. They're round and small as opposed to long and kind of pointy from the mother tree. But I'm expecting it to have some die off, and then hopefully it'll spring back. And that was one of the reasons I put some of that driftwood in, so you get attached to it. And right now, as far as fish go, I got about 15, I think they're called brilliant rasboras, magnificent rasboras, that's what they are. And then I got about 9 threadfin, what do they call it? Threadfin, they're not tetras, what are they? I can't think of it. Rainbow fish, threadfin rainbows. So they're pretty cool in the morning. The males will spread their fins, and they get pretty big, and it's pretty cool to watch. But that's about it. I just want to give you guys a little tour. I did drill this tank out over spring break, and that's when I redid the aquascaping. And I added this stump, which I love. See, that's the drain there. And it's actually it's a U. I did an elbow. Let's see if you can see it from the side better. But basically it's an elbow with that skimmer on top. And it does well, and it keeps the top nice and clear, as you can see. Nice and clear. And anyhow, I'm glad I drilled it. It was worth the effort. It didn't take too long. I think it took a whole 10 minutes to do both. And then I did a DIY sump. So this is just a container. This is not a standard size 40-gallon stand. I did a pedestal, and this is only like 18 inches. I want to say about 18 inches wide, and only about 14 maybe deep. So I was really limited. I couldn't put a 40-gallon or a 20-gallon down there. I could do a 10-gallon, but I thought that was too small. So I got this container for $6 at Walmart, and it has a really stout lid. And then what I did is I cut out for this cereal container, and that's basically my media rack. And I had a little piece of acrylic, so I made a little drip tray out of it and put some filter floss in there. And then underneath it, I got like 5 pounds of carbon, and then I got some ceramic rings, and then I got, a bunch of other media. I mean, it holds a ton. And then I got some sponge, and then my return, and I got my heater down there, of course. Keep it out of the way. And then I got a little UV light in the back. And it worked out. It's nice and quiet because it's all enclosed, and I don't get a lot of evaporation. So I have to top it off maybe a gallon a week. Which isn't too bad considering it's an open top. And I was using a small 24-ounce CO2, which is down there, but I had it from a 15-gallon tank, and then when I added it to the 40, it only lasted me 2 weeks. So I went out and I got this is a 7-gallon CO2 tank I got. I had to get an adapter because I had a paintball. It's an Aquatech paintball CO2 regulator. It's for CO2, for planted tanks, but it takes the paintball size cylinders. So I got an adapter for it, and I just got it up and going today. It's too tall to put underneath. It's a little too crowded, so I just put it on the side here. And I might make a little wood box to maybe a 3-sided box to cover that, and so that it matches the side of the tank, the side of the stand, I mean. But I don't know, it doesn't bother me, but I don't think my wife likes it sitting down there. But it's stable for sure. But that's about it. Pretty pleased with how it's turning out, and the plant growing on the top is kicking ass. And all this growth in here is all from without the CO2. It's honestly been growing really slow. These creeping Charlie should have been taken off. It's been in here over a month, and it's growing, but very slowly. I'm hoping now that I got the CO2 going that this Charlie is going to take off. And I really wanted it up towards the surface, that whole corner, But we'll see. It's supposed to be a fast-growing plant. But that's about it. I noticed this blue rock. I don't know if you see that. It's like the grayish blues coming off. It's flaking off, and you see it's white behind it. I don't like that. I don't know what's happening there. But I'm thinking about pulling it, the riverbed, anyways, leave the larger rocks, pull the riverbed, and adding just a regular gravel. And I might even pull some of these and just have the gravel flow in between, like a natural looking gravel. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. What's going on with that rock, or anything in general you noticed in my tank or plants. And love to hear what y'all have to say. Thanks for taking a look.